Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 worst things that Ed, and Eddy have done.
We're gonna turn this rag into a world-class money machine! The Eddy way! Whatever you say, friend!
Eddy, how wrong can you be in this most wonderful time of the year?
For this list, we'll be looking at some of the most insidious scams and misdeeds that the Eds, well, mostly Eddy, have done to the kids of the cul-de-sac. And each other. Expect major spoilers ahead for those who haven't kept up with this Cartoon Network classic. Think there's a particularly nasty deed we missed? Let us know in the comments where you think the Eds went too far. Number 10. Hurting Rolf's feelings.
Every year, as part of our guilt-ridden traditions, Rolf's family pays tribute to Rolf's great nano and the mighty sea cucumber.
Rolf invites the kids to a bizarre party and offers them sea cucumber balls to eat. Eddy, however, tries to hit a knothole in the fence with one of the balls, and doing so horribly hurts Rolf's feelings. Even if he didn't mean to insult Rolf, Eddy doesn't even try to apologize despite how much this affects the son of a shepherd. It doesn't cost anything to say sorry, Ed boy.
By simply tossing his sea cucumber ball, you insulted Rolf.
Oh, boo! I hurt Rolf's stinky fish ball!
It's not the fish ball, Eddy.
Fortunately, Rolf gets his revenge by challenging Eddy to a fish slapping duel and wiping the floor with him. Who knew that simply playing with your food could escalate things this much?
Hit Rolf!
Number 9. One prank too many.
All I know is we're stuck in a swamp out in the middle of nowhere. Big bro ain't gonna be impressed.
While looking for Eddy's big brother, Ed and Eddy's horseplay lands them in trouble when they start sinking in what looks like quicksand. Double D can only watch in anguish as his best friends sink to their doom, or so he thinks. It turns out that it wasn't quicksand, and Ed and Eddy were just messing with Double D yet again. They even start laughing at him for being such a sap.
Gotcha!
Unsurprisingly, this morbid prank enrages Double D. He was crying his heart out for Pete's sakes, and he finally chews Eddy out for all his scams and pranks. You can only push our favorite sockhead so far before he finally snaps.
I'd rather face my consequences, Ed, than wander aimlessly with a so-called friend.
Number 8. Tour gone awry.
Ed, and Eddy, I'd like you to meet Plank's mom and his dad.
When Plank's parents come to town, Ed and Double D volunteer to show them around the cul-de-sac. Unfortunately, Eddy hijacks the hunks of wood and takes them on his very own deluxe tour line. At first, it goes about as well as expected. Eddy charges them ridiculously, while Ed and Double D try to catch him. But then things take a dark turn. Eddy drives the tour bus under some low-hanging monkey bars, and the bars slice Plank's parents' heads off.
Look at what you did to Plank's mommy and daddy!
Who knows what this will do to Johnny when he sees this, Eddy? His ties to reality are already tenuous at best.
Although it was technically an accident and the late passengers are imaginary, kidnapping and decapitating Plank's family? Are we sure this is still a kid's show? Needless to say, Johnny and Plank aren't taking this one lightly.
This is all your fault! They're just hunks of wood, for Pete's sake!
I wouldn't say that too loudly, Eddy. I think they're watching us.
Number 7. What's a support beam?
No joke when it's broke, don't be blue! Let Ed's quick repair service fix it and you won't sue!
The Eds decide to open up a repair service, except they're much better at breaking things than fixing them. No thanks to our favorite doofus Ed. They destroy Jimmy's oven, demolish Johnny's sink, and even rip Johnny's radiator out of the wall. Their biggest blunder of the day, though, Ed ends up ripping the support beam to Johnny's house out of place, and the whole house comes tumbling down.
Is that the support beam to the house?
What's a support beam?
This has been quite a day.
What's worse is that the Eds actually make an easy getaway despite the fact that they basically left Johnny and Plank homeless. Thankfully, the house returns to normal after this episode. But wow, the Eds have unbelievable luck to get out of this scot-free.
Let's just do the right thing, Eddy, and work for the rest of our lives to buy Johnny a new home.
Yeah, right.
Number 6. Smileyville.
Jimmy's upset. Perhaps I can help.
Oh, no, you don't! If there's any helping doing around here, we do it for cash. Because that's how we work.
Jimmy is feeling under the weather today, and the Eds conveniently promise to cheer him up with their brand new amusement park, Smileyville. Unfortunately, it turns out that Jimmy paid for absolutely nothing. This is undoubtedly one of Eddy's laziest scams to date. He couldn't even bother to attempt to make a fake park. He just lured the unsuspecting Jimmy in with a fancy entrance gate and then walked away with his cash, leaving the forlorn sucker behind with tears in his eyes.
But I've had a horrible day, filled with conflict, turmoil, and Eddy, who tricked me out of all my money.
Thankfully, afterward, Eddy gets a taste of his own medicine when Rolf and Jimmy counter-scam him with a money tree seed. Not that he'll ever learn his lesson because, let's face it, it's Eddy.
Give me back my stuff! You jerks ripped me off!
Number 5. The Thingamajig.
I have nowhere to sit!
No problemo, Joe! The Thingamajig here is the only thing you'll ever need!
This could have been the Ed's greatest invention to date. A machine that spits out any necessity you need, and all for a measly quarter. The only problem was that they sold each of the kids their own Thingamajig, but they only made one for their sales pitch. So what did Eddy sell the kids? Boxes of junk, that's what. Yeah, ripping others off is nothing new for the Eds, but even Double D admits that this is a new low for them.
Eddy, how could you? You falsely swindled those unsuspecting children out of their allowances. Oh, I know. That's what we do in every show, but not like this.
When you think about it, wouldn't it have made more sense to have the kids bid over the one Thingamajig? In any case, the Eds quickly get their just desserts, thanks to Captain Melonhead.
Leave a mark, Melon dude!
I give! Ow!
Number 4. Eddy's Temptation.
Go down to the candy store and buy me and Jimmy some fudge, rich and thick with lots of nuts. Yum! Yum, yum. Here's my allowance money.
Sarah has entrusted Ed with her allowance and orders him to buy her and Jimmy fudge from the candy store. However, Eddy, being the conniving weasel he is, convinces the lovable oaf to instead spend the money on jawbreakers for the Eds.
Made the right choice, my fine fish-faced friend!
I'm speechless. I mean, how can you two just sit there drooling over your ill-gotten gains? Have you no shame?
Even if Sarah is incredibly irritating, going back on a promise to your baby sister isn't right. Of course, it's not Ed's fault that he was so easily swayed. What's worse is that later, Eddy attempts to pay Sarah back by having the kids pay to physically abuse Ed and Double D. Thankfully, in the end, Double D and Ed come up with a plan to pay Sarah back and give Eddy a good taste of karma.
Who's up next? It's our turn. Step right up, Rolf. It only costs 1 penny.
Number 3. Booster Shot Day.
Eddy, a poor self-image hath he that envies his fellow man's accolades.
Forget Acapulco! What made stupid Kevin so special?
We've all seen Eddy and Kevin's heated rivalry throughout the series, but how far is Eddy willing to go to undermine the neighborhood jock? Apparently far enough to peek into Kevin's student files and learn about his fear of needles. With his newfound knowledge, Eddy convinces the kids that it's Booster Shot Day just to frighten Kevin.
It seems one of our students has yet to get his vaccination. Lucky for him, today's Booster Shot Day!
He even goes as far as to corner him with a fake, oversized syringe. Leave it to Eddy to stretch a quick and petty act of jealousy into a full day spent reminding Kevin of his greatest fear. Honestly, they should have just let Kevin pound him, but subjecting the underhanded dork to a booster shot of his own seems like karmic justice, don't you think?
No, don't do it! I'm too young! No!
Number 2, the cream horn incident.
Eddy! Ed's flashed us back to the day your scam ruined Jimmy's teeth.
Jimmy's had his trademark retainer as far back as the pilot episodes, but have you ever wondered how he got it? A flashback shows that once upon a time, he actually had perfect, healthy teeth. But all that changed thanks to another one of Eddy's scams, as Jimmy broke his teeth biting into a bowling pin disguised as a treat. Poor Jimmy never recovered after that, and it's safe to assume that the damage to his teeth might be permanent. The Eds got the beating they deserved after that, but the fact that one of their scams caused this much lasting damage to one of the kids is just disturbing.
She had boxing class that day!
And she inflicted more pain on us! Run away!
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions. Ed stealing Rolf's chickens.
Walking off with Rolf's chickens like I find how they do?
It was their idea, Rolf, as they wanted to be the best chickens they could be!
Jawbreakers over friendship.
Help me!
Free Jawbreaker, Double D!
Blaming the imaginary Mucky Boys.
There they go!
Where?
There!
Freeze, mucky boys! Give such a sap. Mucky boys.
Swiping Santa's presents.
Reconsider your actions.
What is it to be, young man, naughty or nice?
I'm the one who gave willingly from his heart. Back off! The sack's mine!
Letting Double D think he was sick.
Tell me the truth, Doctor. How long am I for this world?
Till lunch?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. The mystery scam.
Yowzers! What do you think they did this time, Jimmy? Whatever it was, it must be worse than ever!
Taking the number 1 spot is the misdeed that kicked off the movie's dramatic plot. Another one of Eddy's scams goes bad in the worst way possible, more so than their other failures. The eerie thing is, we never even find out what the scam actually was, but we see the aftermath. The lane is destroyed, most of the kids are afflicted with gruesome injuries, and the Eds are put on the run. That's right, this time the kids are out for blood.
Rolf's vengeance will be slow and painful, like Papa's childhood anecdotes, boy!
Feel free to share in the comments your theories on what the mystery scam was. But one thing's for certain, any ploy that causes this much damage easily trumps any other get-rich scheme we've seen.
Lost souls are we, gentlemen, doomed for eternity!
Lighten up, sockhead! Hasn't Eddy always steered you right?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.